Good evening. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a good day. Hopefully, everyone kept that attitude of gratitude today. I'm tired tonight. I've been kind of dragging butt these last few days, getting readjusted, trying to find that healthy, happy medium with the new job and the sleep habits I created the last couple weeks, which was a lot of sleeping. Um, but I'm getting more comfortable and finally adjusting. Um, which leads me to a topic of self care. What do you guys do to refuel? What do you guys do to recharge yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit? You know, when you're dragging, when you're getting in your head. Why is self care so important to you? I know for me, when I get in my head and I'm not taking care of myself, I'm in trouble. That's why personal care, personal self care is so important. Um, some people choose to exercise, me, not so much. But just the basics, hygiene, getting a haircut, taking a walk, just relaxing, enjoying nature. Um, Me personally, music is, an outlet for me. I personally love listening to music. Journaling now. I used to hate journaling. I love journaling, writing my feelings down, being honest with other people and how I feel is huge for me personally. I'm starting to find a love for my hobbies that I used to love and enjoy. So my hobbies are starting to come back now. Um, just relaxing, watching TV, propping my feet up. These are things that I enjoy doing, um, which I consider self care for me personally. The key for me is not to overwhelm myself or overextend myself and to find that happy balance. Like right now, I'm trying to balance my new job and my personal recovery. And it's taken some time, but I know I'll adjust. I just have to keep sharing about it and talking about it. And things are eventually going to work themselves out, just no matter what. I just don't pick up or use over it. It hasn't even been a thought. It's just trying to find that equal balance. And it may not totally always, it may not necessarily equal itself out completely, but just trying to balance it out is the key for me. Setting that healthy boundary between work and that boundary, between work and my personal recovery is my challenge right now today, personally. Keeping the focus on myself and trying not to be Captain Save a Bro all the time and saving everyone. Because I know I'm only one person and that I need others, and there are others out there that are willing to help and reach out to other people that are in need. I know I have to keep the focus on my recovery and myself first, you know, um, not to overlook or set aside my priorities and what's important to me. I have to keep the focus on myself. Anything that I personally put in front of my recovery, I stand to lose. And I know that. And I have to remind myself that daily, that if I put anything in front of my recovery, I'm in trouble. I'm going to go back out. And I don't want to do that. So I have to keep the focus on myself and my recovery. Self care is critical for me personally. It's critical for my personal recovery. And it's key, that to keep practicing that daily. And, ultimately it becomes routine. It becomes normal. It doesn't feel forced to me. It's easier to sustain, I guess, and practice daily. Those daily gratitude lists, those positive affirmations, keeping that attitude of gratitude. These things at first, for me personally, felt somewhat forced, and today they've just become normal. It's part of my daily routine. That's how I choose to wake up every day. Um, and it's promoting a healthy, mindset for me, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And that's positive self care for me. I know when I was in active addiction, I didn't do anything for myself. I beat myself up and I just continued by choice not to give myself a break. Self care and these choices that I'm speaking about, it's an action. It's not a concept. I have to put in the work and put the action in for it to ultimately become a normal routine and a process. And I know the more I practice it, the easier things get. Welcome everybody that's coming in. Our actions develop healthy habits, that we place in our daily life. And I know that the more I practice them, the easier it gets and the more it just becomes normal routine for me. That's why I always stress practicing the gratitude list and the positive mindsets and journaling about your feelings, even though feelings at times suck and are hard to share and open up and talk about. But I know for me personally, the more I do it, the easier things are for me and the easier things get and the better I feel. And just simply taking time out for me, setting aside time every day for me to just prop my feet up and kick back and rest. That's why personal, self-care for me is so important. And participating in my recovery daily. What did you guys do for your recovery today? I have to ask myself that daily sometimes. What did I do for my recovery? Did I do something for someone else or did I actually do something for myself? And that's what I'm dealing with right now because I work in the field and I have to separate going to work in my own personal recovery. I can't say, well, I went to a meeting with a client today and consider that my personal recovery because it's not. I have to take the time out for me and keep the focus on myself. And, I do things personally daily for my own recovery. Hi, Patty. I'm glad you're here. And I have to ask myself daily, what did I do for my recovery today? It's a valid question for me. Did I just go to work and come home and go to bed, or did I actually do something for my recovery? And that's why I do the things that I do. That's why I do the live streaming. That's why I participate in meetings daily. This virtual opening because of COVID has been a huge blessing for me to stay focused on myself and my recovery because it's available 24/7. The resources out there today are simply amazing. And I am eternally grateful and blessed that the Zoom rooms and these live streams are all available and they're literally there 24/7. And it's worldwide. That's the beautiful thing. There's no excuse of, well, it's 9 o'clock at night in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm afraid I might bother somebody. Well, it may be 9 o'clock here, but it's 3 hours on the Pacific coast right now, 3 hours earlier. So, the time differences and it being worldwide, it's a beautiful thing. And it's an awesome, awesome, awesome tool to add to anyone's recovery toolbox. I'm tired. I am going to practice some self-care here in a few minutes and relax and prop my feet up and get comfortable because I'm tired. So it's self-care and TV time and spend time with my girlfriend or I'll get in trouble time. I love you guys. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. I appreciate you taking time out to listen. Please like and share. The more we share, the more we reach. Hopefully, the more we can help. And Thursday night, awesome speaker. I'm going to promote. 8 o'clock Eastern Thursday. I'm going to have an awesome speaker on. I hope you guys can all be here to have him give his testimony of experience, strength, and hope. I love you guys. I will definitely be in here tomorrow sometime. Unsure what time, but you know me, I'll be here. I love you guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.